Hi Majesties, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for always returning. Today I want us to talk about friendship. Yes, a lot of people have lost their path because of the company they keep, and we're living in a world where when you do not have friends, people look at you like you're not normal, like maybe something is wrong with you, maybe because you're a wicked person, or maybe a weak person, or maybe there is something wrong with you. That's why you do not have a friend, or maybe cannot keep a friend. But for those people who have limited number of friends or limited number of external bodies around them, these are the most powerful people that you can ever think of on the face of the earth. Your Majesties, it is for a fact. Okay, you can do your research about that. When you are able to accompany yourself by yourself, that shows how strong your spirit is. When you live your life without depending on someone around you all the time for company, for this, for that, that shows how strong-willed you are. Now, spiritually, what is the impact of having less friends or having no friends at all? Now, mind you, there are a lot of good people out there still in this world that you can make friends from, out of, in as much as a lot of evil is done by, is carried out by day in this world. There are people who still have the good heart that you can make your friend. But the truth is, while we were in our mother's womb, we were alone. Now, the more lonely you are, the more quiet your journey in this life is, the more connected you are to the source, the more connected you are to the spirit. This is another fact that you cannot dispute. The more time you have alone, the more alone time you have, because when you have multiple friends, you hardly have that serenity. You hardly have that quiet time. You hardly have that lone time. When this one comes, you discuss, you have some chat, maybe about things that are not even important to you. He or she goes, another one comes, you have the same chat, you have the same discussion. So you are crowded. You are crowded. Just imagine a room where there are different things around. The room is crowded with different varieties of maybe appliances, furnitures, what have you. You see that room, you might feel uneasy in that room. That is how your spirit is, and your soul is crying for a quiet time. And most of the times, these noises around you, caused by multiple friendship, is blocking your ear from listening when you have a message from the spirit world. Is blocking your eyes from seeing when you have something coming. There are visions that most of the times, I don't know if it has ever happened to you, because it has happened to me. There are things in your life that is about to happen, and you see this as a trance. It comes to you, like it comes to you, you see it happen. And after maybe 2-3 days, that thing happens physically. It's not a story. This is a fact. This is the truth. It is happening. Like I told you, I've had the experience. Now, the more friends you have, limit your spiritual ability. Take it or leave it. It is not Abigail's words. These are, facts put together from past. The less friends you have, the better chances you have of receiving messages from the spiritual world. And mind you, we are all spiritual beings. You can't cut yourself from the spirit. It's not possible. Before we became in this physical flesh, having this physical body, we existed before. And that is why in African spirituality, they don't say you die, they say you pass on. Because prior to your existence in this material world, under this very consciousness, you had existed. So before this physical, there was spiritual. Before we appeared in the physical form, we were existing in the spiritual world. So there are messages about our future, about our progress, about our successes, about our journey that sometimes are dropped to us gradually. From that world we existed, like I gave you an illustration of a little child in the womb. When you were a child, you had nobody. You were there alone, and it was easier to commune with the spirit because you were alone. You were just there communicating with your mother and the spirits. And that's why little children, because they do not have company to say, okay, this is my friend, let's have discussion. They can't talk when they are small. They have more connection to the spirit. They see things happen before it comes. There are places you go with your little child. The child starts crying. The child becomes uneasy. You know that something is wrong, especially for mothers who are attentive, for mothers who are connected to nature. You know, when you take your child to a place and your child is uneasy, when you are at that place, just know that something is off there, and it is best that you leave. Children are more connected to the spiritual world because they don't have friends. And in some of the holy text of some religion, they tell you, for you to make it to heaven, you have to become like a child. Becoming like a child doesn't mean you have to, turn yourself to a child because you've grown up. But there are characteristics that are present in children that you need to emulate. Your Majesties, you need to emulate. The less company you have, the more connected you are to the source, and the more connected you are to your journey. The more friendship you have, the more distracted you become along the way. And that is why a lot of people lose it. For a fact, a lot of people lose it in this journey that we all are on, under this very consciousness, in this physical plane and under this body. A lot of people lose it. A lot of people end up not even understanding the essence of their existence anymore, because they have crowded themselves. Their spirit is so polluted. How? Because they have picked from different spirits. They have crowded themselves, and there's no way for them to have a fresh air to even see clearly what their journey in this life is. And that is why it is advisable that you have less friends. Like I said earlier, it doesn't mean that you having a less friendship or do not having friends at all. It doesn't mean that you ask people who do not even have friends. Their life is so peaceful. Their life is so peaceful. Their life is so coordinated because they have successfully cut off from a lot of distraction along the way. And this is for a fact. Apart from having people to say, okay, these are my friends, or these are what have you, isolating yourself most of the times do you good. When I say isolating yourself, I'm not saying you live in a community, you should not converse with your neighbors. I'm not saying you should not have interactions with people who live around you. No. In as much as you communicate with those around you, your neighbors, you have people who you have interactions with, make sure that these people around you do not crowd that space that is for you. This is the mistake that most of us make. Okay, with the kind of situation that people have gone through with friendship, a lot of people are becoming so wise, they are cutting off from having multiple friends. There are people who tell you, I don't have a friend. But every day you see them roaming about one house to another, having a discussion, having an interaction. Those things are still part of the distraction we are talking about. So what are we saying? The less you communicate, the more quiet you become, the greater you are in the spirit. The more you talk with people, the more you have conversations with people, the more you deplete yourself without even knowing. Serenity does not only benefit your physical body, it benefits your spirit and your soul. Quietness does not just benefit you or maybe, help you retain your energy for something else. It benefits your spirit and your soul. The more quiet your mouth is, the more wise your spirit becomes. The more you talk, the less concentrated your spirit becomes. The more quiet you become, the more concentrated your spirit becomes. Because you give the inner you the ability to explore when the physical you is not doing much when it comes to communication. You think better, especially when you are alone. In this life, we all have our journeys. There's nobody on earth that have the same journey. Our journeys are different. So the more you occupy yourself with another person's journey, you will never see clearly to focus on your own. And when you do not focus on your own journey, you are losing it already. And that is why there are few people who have realized this. They have realized this, and they are now come out boldly to tell you, I do not have a friend. I do not have a lot of companions, but I am okay, I am happy. And that is for a fact. The moment I began to let off people around me, normally, I have never been someone who move around with a lot of friends. I don't even have. I can't remember having someone I say, okay, this is my soul friendship. You come to my house always, you are always, we do things together. Yes, there are people you can share your life with, your family, and some other people you can share your life with. There are people you can share some secrets with. There are people you can have some conversation with. For a fact, that cannot be disputed. But to have a person or group of people to say, these are my friends, I have never had that, and I have never regretted it. Okay? And the moment I began to cut myself from too much crowd, a lot of talk, I started seeing, significant growth in my life. The more quiet you are, it shows how strong your spirit is. Like I said in the beginning, you being quiet, you isolating yourself does not mean that you are weak. You being quiet, you isolating yourself does not mean that you are wicked. No, but the world wants to make you feel like if you do not come out and jump around, you are not a good person. No. People you see who are always quiet, people you see who are always calm, their spirit is strong and they can perceive things from afar because their spirit is active. People you see jumping up and down, they are so active. When they come near you, they are so lively and everything. Do not get it twisted. Those kind of persons, I'm sorry to say, their spirit can do limited things because already they have given attention so much to their body that their spirit is crying for attention. So there are people that cannot stay quiet anymore. There are people that cannot stay for maybe a day without having a lot of conversation with friends. That is bad, Your Majesties. I keep saying this. Most of our problems, our troubles that we are going through and fighting with in this world, some of them are our doing. Some of them, we are the cause of these problems. How are we the cause of this problem? Because of some of these things that we overlook, we think it's not important. You must not have friends. You must not have multiple friends to show that you are lively or to show that you're a good person or to show, no. Do not even struggle to please the world and what the world thinks. What you should struggle with is, how is my spirit and how is my connection to the divine? These are the things that we need to think about mostly. And if you want to really commune with the divine and reconnect with the divine, you have to let go. Because if you do not let go, you cannot let in the Creator. So you have to let go. There is this popular adage, let go so you can let God. So I would say you let go so you can let in the creator of the universe, the divine that we keep talking about. Leave your thoughts and opinion there at the section, my kings and queens, and I'm going to see you in my next one. Remember to subscribe to this channel, give this video a thumbs up, and share to your friends and families. Bye for now.